game I propose we play today would be A Shade's Tale, would be a 2nd edition Ironclaw game. And I'm your host, Red. It was my birthday yesterday, so
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. I was up late. And what we're going to do is I'm going to recap last session briefly for those of us who weren't here. And then we're going to introduce our characters, and then we'll start rolling some dice. Some virtual dice. Okay, so where were we last time? Last time we began in the Cave of Ripe Dow, a hermit bear in the Rothos Mountains north of the wall. The walls of Calabria, I should specify. With designs on going north, delivering the Rinaldi sword to the Children of the Shade, who are currently undercover at Wight Ridge, the foot of Mount Grimart, and then pressing forward towards the site of a necromantic circle right in the smack center of the Rothos Mountains. To this end, the party divided into two, with Adris taking his elite guard and heading directly for Wight Ridge. And the rest of the party slipping out and heading to the northwest, following the trail that Ripe Dow left. They decided to accept the goal to find what became of their friend, one-time associate Ripe Dow, who seems to have left his home at the beginning of winter for no discernible reason and trek for many leagues north. All right, let's see. So the Baron, Adris was hunted by Devon's hunting parties, and they did accost his group, but he managed to hide his identity by keeping low profile among his many, many followers. And then he made it to the Baron's court. He was greeted warmly. He convinced the Baron not to join his troops for the attack on the Chevernace. You'll remember the Baron was sending troops north to seize all of the Chevernace lands and more mining territory. But apparently the first attack that they sent out ended badly. The Chevernace, there are reports that they're in league with dark forces. And this has caused the Baron's men to scatter. He was going to go up there and whip them into shape. Adris advised against it, saying that there will be better use of his leadership later in the campaign. Okay. Adris also learns that the Baron has suspicions about Frederick and his followers and has placed them under house arrest, similar to how he took Colette as a hostage. He's currently awaiting news back he's waiting to confirm Frederick's story that he belongs to the minor house Lutozzo. But Adris he tells them the truth of the Shade's children and suggests that the Baron let them go because if they're successful in their plot, it could destabilize Triskellion and Three Corners Fort and create an opening where the Baron might seize more power and the Doloro might push south. The Baron is not a long-term strategist, but has faith in Adris and decides to do what he says, lets them go. Okay, Adris gives the Rinaldi sword to the Children of the Shade under the cover of apology for being detained by the Baron. While all of this is happening, the rest of the party continues their travels and finds themselves ambushed by one of Devon's hunting parties. The attackers are driven off, but not before setting fire to their camp and burning half of their supplies. As the battle concludes, a path of ivy, blessed one, of small stature, shows herself and tells the party about the necromancers. They learn that the Chevernace have joined forces with the necromancers there. She introduces herself as Calamine and is convinced to travel with them and stop the necromantic that threatens her lands. Adris runs into a messenger for the Children of the Shade. They want to discuss the fate of Twitch, the Grey Fox. Adris wants plausible deniability in these dealings, and so sends them the messengers ahead to meet with the party at Icespire, which is their rendezvous point just outside of the necromantic site. At Icespire, the Children of the Shade say they suspect that the Fool Twitch is the rightful heir to the Rinaldi throne. They mean to use the sword to test him, but first they believe they have to rescue him from the Baron, and the party has agreed to help. And we got into some debate over the wording of that goal, we can talk more about now. But the important thing to point out to you, Raph, is that you guys did complete the goal of delivering the Rinaldi sword. And I think for that, what did we give for that? 56. Local knowledge of the Rothos Mountains was the gift for that goal. Okay, and if everybody's still with me, we can do our introductions. Ark, if you're ready, we can start with you.
Hello, I'm Mark Lloyd, and I played Connor Lavera de Ecrivis, the Brazen Raccoon Knight, Errant, and Crusader. Forgive me for stuttering on that. I'm still trying to remember that. Pronouns are both he, him, and my motto is one hand washes the other.
Okay, and we also have Griffin.
Hey everybody, I'm Griffin. I'm playing the local anonymous Armadillo Almoner, who's also called the Doctor. His motto is first do no harm, second get paid.
And with us today is Rafferty.
Hello world, I'm Rafferty he, him. Today I'm playing Anushka, the Microbat Messenger, where my motto is know no fear and serve with joy.
And we are also joined by Theta.
Address Gar, Gorilla Taunt Bod, Rake Cure, Merchant, Town Fool, leader of the Achromic Gang, personally proud, motto by strength, same goals as I assume everyone else must have been saying ahead of me.
Yeah, so did you you picked up a career dice in Fool, or I'm sorry,
Town Fool.
Town Fool. What does that do? Sorry.
What does it do? I mean,
it gives you access. It's a career, but it gives you access to Fool gifts.
No, I mean I have to have the gifts before I get the career.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Well, wait, which town are you a fool of?
I would say most.
Typically, the town fool is the local town fool. I would thought you'd go for poltroon. I guess town fool appealed to you more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it already had elements that I fit into, so.
Okay. Well, somewhere there's a town missing their idiot.
Also, I'm not I would say I'm more of an idiot than I am mean.
Also true. So
the career had gossip, I bet.
Well, there are multiple fool ones that have gossip.
There's multiple fools, but once again, if you're a town fool but you're not in town, somewhere there's a town, somewhere there's a village missing their local idiot.
I mean, Jester also fits and has gossip. I think Haranguer is also.
So do you actually have comic relief as a gift?
No, I have foolery.
Foolery. So now you can mock people until they.
Well, I think there's a conversation I had only in chat. I don't think I had it out loud.
Well, coming up next is comic relief.
The one that gives everyone around me a bonus D12 to their defense if I, piss people off around me. That would be the best way for me to save my allies.
It's a bonus D12 to hit everyone except you.
Yeah.
Because they get so mad at you that they get too distracted to attack the rest of us.
But hopefully I'll be too surrounded by people that have those bonuses can't get straight off.
I don't know how people on the modern internet can relate to someone being so annoying but surrounded by a crowd of defenders. I don't know how we could possibly relate to that.
If only we had examples from life to draw from, but luckily we have our imaginations to guide us. So, where we can pick this up is Icespire, a totally original name that I came up with myself on the fly, I'll have you know, because I am a genius dungeon master. And the party has reconvened with both itself, I guess, and the Children of the Shade, led by Frederick, the small owl nobleman, who is, I guess, is he beseeching? Maybe that's too strong a word, but he's saying that he's thanking you for your part in rescuing and returning to the sword. He holds it gingerly and with respect, delicacy, and he is saying now that they must return it to they must return to White Ridge. They must find a way to speak with this Twitch creature and confirm their suspicions that he could be of the noble bloodline. Now that they got the sword, they can effectively do that. There was some discussion over what we should do about the wording of this particular goal. I propose rescue Twitch from the Baron's influence, but naturally there are steps to take before that, because you guys have been in a situation where you were pretty sure that someone was the rightful heir to the throne, and it turned out he wasn't. Or at least the sword didn't think he was. So instead we can change the wording of that to, I guess, let's see, what would it be? Confirm the legitimacy of Twitch's claim. It's a weird sentence. Does that work for
that
people?
sounds about right. Confirm the what is Twitch's claim?
I guess it's really not a claim coming from him.
Yeah,
is
it's
the
the
thing.
Shades claim.
They're
The
doing the
Shades
thing where
claim.
they're forcing their opinions on other people again.
So what is Shade's claim?
The Shades claim is that this fool, this Grey Fox fool that is in the service of the Baron Meldgard, is actually the lost Rinaldi heir, Fabrizio.
I would also argue it's not the Shades claim.
Whose claim? Would it be the
Frederick,
children
I
of the
thought
Shade?
it was the owl. I thought you said he
Yeah,
saw
Frederick's claim.
something in his eyes or something like that.
Yeah, confirm.
Okay, so
Confirm if Twitch is Fabrizio. How about that?
does affirming this claim that this one person is indeed the rightful heir, how does that further our agenda? I mean, does that coincide with what the Shades want?
That is, yeah. Oh, at least what the children of the Shade want.
Okay, so even the children of the Shade approve of this claim. So if we can prove that Fabrizio is a legitimate heir, well, that's a tall order.
Well, it's also, again, I don't think that Twitch is making any claims. Again, it's that one guy who saw something in him who's making the claim that this might be it. And I'm of the mind that I think you're just looking at every Grey Fox thinking they might have a claim.
Well, I'm not. That's an interesting goal, but I'm not sure how we would prove it. We don't have a lot of status, and I don't know if there's any way to prove Fabrizio's providence.
Also, I believe at this point we're 2 days out from there. And I had mentioned something to Griff immediately in the recording we had after the Ironclaw game. I believe that we have a more pertinent goal on our list that we're nearby.
Right, we have some time to decide on it.
Well, I mean, we're in the Rothos Mountains. There's a necromantic circle nearby. We have a goal related to it that's an unarguable goal.
Right, exactly, and that's the one we're heading towards today. As we've already rallied people together, we've have our Ivy friend coming with us, and we're all back together, so I think we're good. We only have a limited bit of supplies, and we'll have to end up back at Mount Grimart again anyway, so it seems the most logical way to progress.
Okay. Sorry. Making moves.
And also somewhere out here is right.
Yeah. Somewhere in this great wide world. Okay. All right. Well, Frederick nods, and he's still grateful to you for your help in this matter. His whole reason for being here in the first place, and the thing that he has so far risked his life to ensure, is the completion of this goal, right? So he and his are going to return to White Ridge with the sword. Okay. Meanwhile, the rest of you all sound like you are making a plan to head to this necromancer circle. Calamine can.
Oh, yeah, that
help
has
with
been
this.
an annoying thing for a while.
You guys don't have many left. I think after this, it is just the one in the
Why are
mirror.
you so disappointed?
I mean, assuming that we know of all the ones that exist.
Yeah.
Here's the
Well,
one
I
we
mean,
know about.
Little do we know that closing all of these off is like plugging holes into a bucket. It'll cause another bigger hole to burst somewhere else.
Well, I mean, that
Know
would just
it.
make the bucket overflow, being filled.
okay. I think the same metaphor, but still, yes. The ones that we have on the map, that you have on your map, are this one, and the Murray Forest one remaining. There were like 6 of them or 7 or something.
That we know of.
There should have been 9, but
In Calabria.
Yes, in Calabria. I mean, you've also heard whisperings of other necromantic activity that doesn't fit this map. So,
Yes, the Jakoba. Close that one.
Field trip.
And then the one at the Zongu capital that we have to enter into a mortal combat.
Yep. But field trips aside, we do have everything we need to do to get up to that mountain.
Yes. So the Calamine greets you. Greets Adris and the rest of his party. She is a boar of short stature. She seems rather young to be a magic user of the terrible powers the Blessed seem to possess. She's also bundled in many furs, which make her look a lot bigger, like stouter than she probably is.
Who is this again?
This is the Blessed One. This is the witch that stepped in at the end of the fight with the rest of the party. She lives near the point where they were ambushed by Devon's guards.
Oh, right. Who they went to stay with for the night.
Exactly. And I believe it was Connor who used his leadership to convince her that she needs to take action because of the dark forces mounting in the northeast, threaten them all.
I got confused because I was trying to tell the Baron he needed somebody supernatural to inspire the men's morale so they wouldn't retreat during battle when encountering supernatural foes. And then you all happened to encounter a blessed...
Exactly as you predicted.
So I was just very confused because I was like, I'm talking about a hypothetical one, and here's a real one. And it's...
Yep. Pardon. I'm gonna have to take a break and grab more water soon, I think. But, so yes, she's gonna tell you some information about this. So, apparently, the epicenter of this dark activity, is a shallow valley that is nestled, a cradle that has been created by 3 separate mountain peaks. It was up until recently one of a campsite for a Chevernese tribe known as the Froststone tribe. And that at its center there is a what some blessed believed to have been a holy lake many generations ago, but it has fallen to darkness. It has become an unholy place. It has laid dormant. Its evil not overreaching the boundaries of this small valley until recently.
How does a lake become evil?
I don't know. And she doesn't really know either.
Well, if you can bless water, then you could ruin it too.
Desperation.
It is peeing and it makes it unholy.
Yeah, well, something evil has peed in the lake.
That fish there, pure evil.
Well, I mean, if they dammed up a river and it overflowed a graveyard.
Welcome to our Ool. Notice there is no evil.
Well, you see, it was actually just a turn of phrase from the locals. When they said evil, they really just meant smelly.
Yes, there was a translation error. Yeah, and I like that. Yeah, the stinking pool of Anyway, so she says there's certain dangers in this area. Naturally, there's the Chevernese tribe, which are an ever-present danger. They don't bother her, and she doesn't bother them typically. However, they've been stirred into a state of extra aggression, perhaps you could say prickliness, by the fact that they are being attacked by the Baron's men. She says there's also the issue of the Baron's men, many of whom, well, at least in her case, don't necessarily distinguish between various types of mountain folk. And especially now they're jumpy at the notion of sorcery and dark magic involved. So at least where she's concerned, that's a danger. Maybe not for you all, since you're clearly not Chevernese or mountain people. Let's see.
Well, we know from the Baron that Adris is a true mountain man.
Well, you don't know that.
Ah,
You
that's
don't know
right.
that.
You're a gorilla. You're big. You're strong. You can haul the entire party yourself, can't?
I mean, it's well known to the Baron that I'm a great mountain man. But y'all don't know that that's the Baron's opinion of me.
We don't know that they know that you know that you've said that you know.
No, I implied. You don't know that I told them, and they then implied that they think that they know that I am.
Ah, but I can see the evidence clearly right here before my very eyes. Gar, you are truly the one to lead us through these mountains. So who else do we have?
Well, how about the woman that lives out here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that was sort of the intention all along.
Indeed. She knows the area and can lead you to this basin and can try to help you avoid certain Chevernace encampments along the way. Although she did point out, and she will reiterate, that the location itself was partly chosen because of its difficulty for approaching.
Right.
The basin
Once we
itself
get there,
gives
we
you-
might have limited options.
Yeah, it's a very steep climb, which favors the Chevernace because
Right.
they are sure-footed, and it does give clear visibility to those who might be on watch for all of the entrances. Unless you decide to climb up and over the actual peak of one of these 3 mountaintops, and most people wouldn't do that, the entrances into this valley are choke points, essentially, which makes it hard to breach if anyone is trying to defend it, which is the impression that she has gotten.
Just a question. I feel like I missed this part.
Okay.
Are the necromancers the Chevernace themselves?
That we don't know.
That's the
That
implication
is, we're not
so far.
sure.
Well, the implication that you're saying is that they've chosen this location because it's great for the Chevernace. Well, I don't mean if you're not a Chevernace
Mhm.
necromancer, then why would you pick this location?
Well, it might. That's a good question. I mean, I think the bigger question is, how would the necromancers be operating here in defiance of the Chevernace? And the first thing that you've come to, which makes a lot of sense, is they're not in defiance of the Chevernace. They're in league with them, which we could just assume, but we don't know that. It could also be that they've somehow done something to get their complicitness. We won't know until we actually meet the Chevernace.
Right. But if we can at least get to the mountain and then scout around it, at least we can start forming a plan for how to deal with this.
We have a number of flyers in our ranks.
And of course, going up and entreating with them, while always of a protective mind, feels like they might just shoot us this time.
I mean, in the act of organizing multiple armies and their leadership to then go fight them, as I've already assisted in doing, I think I've already indicated I'm an enemy of the Chevernace.
So I suppose let's get eyes on the mountain and then move on from there.
Okay. Let's see here.
It's like having great diplomatic relations with Phelan, right? At some point, being isolationist assholes is not good politically.
Okay. I think this is a good use for the observation skill. We could throw weather sense in there for our flyers since we're using aerial observation. And it could be a body check since you are basically trying to maneuver, survey the area without maybe getting too close to anything that might shoot or eat you.
Alright, so you said what kind of check?
So body, observation, weather sense. Open to other ideas as well, but in terms of trait skill, I think that's what we'll start with.
Would searching be valuable?
We could do searching as well. The reason I chose observation is I feel like this is a more general, like you're not looking for something specific, you're just looking for what's out there.
It's ironic that I brought up searching specifically because I thought we were looking for something specific, i.e. the necromancers or
Right.
signs of the necromancer.
Well,
Okay.
I think specifically
that's-
here, yeah.
If
I was
that's
thinking
what
it was-
your target is, then sure, yeah, we can change that to searching.
Sure. That'll
Would
give me more dice.
tracking come into play?
I'm not about. See, I wanted to say that I don't think tracking should be limited to things that you do at ground level, but I also don't know how you would track someone aerially if you're not like examining tracks they left, right? Or
That is a problem.
I can't.
Yes.
Well, I mean, if
Yeah.
they're moving, if there's a number of them and they're moving in a group, they might be leaving disturbances in the snow that would be visible in the air versus being on the ground for like tree branches. Somebody can be
Okay.
traveling in such a non-stealthy way.
Yeah. I'm
But
into
I
it.
guess I would say if we're interested in necromancy and evil black magic and this kind of investigation as we get closer, I'd recommend Supernatural.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're looking for signs of yeah, because there's that good old fashioned wickedness. What is my supernatural these days?
And let's see. I do believe I still have Mystic Necromancy. So that ought to be an extra D12 to detect evil.
I don't,
So
but I have supernatural.
Evil.
So I'm an evil sensing machine, by the way.
I'm sorry. Are you flying with them?
Oh, I was just doing it on ground levels.
Well,
I
Okay.
assumed that we were all doing this together. My bad. I didn't know that this was specifically the flyer squad.
and thank you for inviting me back to the game so I could, my very first roll 0 successes on 3 dice.
I mean,
Damn.
my flyer squad had success.
Let's see. What do we got here? We got that's
I'm assuming we
2.
were all
That's
doing it
2.
individually.
That's 1. Yeah. Okay. So
You know, a wide berth. We all went our separate ways to investigate the area so that we all find something or nothing.
exactly. All right. So Jackie finds as she scouts this mountain area, she can see several what seem to be encampments almost built on the near vertical face of one of these mountains. She can see the sort of strange nest-like constructions out the sides of this cliff, and she can see the movements of the mountain folk, the Chevernace. Their goat forms sort of twisted into strange hulking creatures by the many layers of furs and hoods that they wear over themselves to protect themselves from the elements. Yeah, excuse me. She also spots the more conventional ground camps of what she assumes to be the scattered forces belonging to the Baron. It seems that one of the larger camps that they created is now abandoned. There are signs of warfare there, and still the remains of several who have fallen in battle wearing the armor of the White Ridge soldiers. But sort of several leagues away from there, she can find several small campfires that look to be, those who fled, who broke and ran, and are now hiding out in the woods waiting for a superior officer to come and reunite them and update them on their orders. And Rutherford finds nothing. Sorry, Rutherford. Tyra makes it over one of the peaks and can spy down through the sort of dense evergreen wood coverage, comes across what could only be this lake. It has been frozen solid. The ice is deep blue. It looks like it has been frozen for some time. And from the sky, she can see what appears to be the movement of dark shadows, as if there was something swimming beneath the surface of this frozen lake, which shouldn't be possible. She can also see that surrounding this area, there are tents with sort of a warlike tribal construction to them. It is clear that the Chevernace themselves have taken up residence around this accursed lake, and it looks like they're arming themselves for war. There is sort of a large tent that looks to be headquarters of sorts, but she sees no one entering or leaving that location and must take wing as several of the scouts spot her. And indeed, there are guards waiting at the choke points that enter into this basin. Some of them take a few pot shots at her as she flies over, but she's far enough away that none of them find their targets.
Would Jack be able to tell me the vector by which the White Ridge soldiers got up in here?
So the soldiers themselves actually never made it into the basin.
Oh,
They,
sorry. I thought you said they had a camp up there.
yeah, no, sorry. So there's the Chevronnets have their camps along the side of the mountain and in the basin. There is a White Ridge camp that is, we'll say, 2 leagues south of there, at kind of like the foot of this whole mountainous area. And it looks like there are trails. One of them is probably a trail that you were taking from Grimart north. So your question was, how did they intend, or how did they get in? Or it looks like they were going to push up through the southernmost entrance into the basin.
Right, which the Chevronnets are all regarding. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Voice this opinion. My thought is that we go and treat with the White Ridge soldiers. I mean, it's entirely possible they might not recognize you guys because they're soldiers. I don't know. I feel like it's
who does White Ridge owe allegiance to?
That's Mount Grimart. That's the Baron that hates.
Oh yeah, they might know who we are. I'm low profile.
Yeah. I mean, we could always try and hide you amongst the rabble.
Yeah. How big is our regulars now? How many irregulars do you have?
Well, no, I don't. Hold on. 1, 2, 7, 8 plus 4, so 9.
You have 9 people, and you're also an unapologetic fool. How terrible must their other prospects be? And what about Connor?
I have 5 irregulars and a potter.
Yeah, we're a freaking army. So yeah, no, we could blend in.
Well, my thing is that I also feel like I'm somewhat responsible, seeing as I'm constantly meddling in this fight. On the political, organization, all the fronts, I'm meddling all the time.
Yeah, no, I'll blend in. I can do that.
You do it the same way we do with Devon's men.
All right. So you guys want to go and meet up with one of these soldier encampments?
You said that it looks like, from the air anyway, it looks like they're awaiting order from a superior officer. Clearly, I'm not a superior officer, but I do represent the Baron here, so...
Okay. Right. So it's not long. It's not a long trip from where you guys have started at Icespire to one of these camps. Move you off Icespire slightly there. So as you approach, you can see a meager, pathetic little fire that is struggling to stay lit against the wind. There are several soldiers huddled around them, even though they are mountain men born and raised, many of them boars. They still look out of place and cold in their heavy chain mail armor and layers of furs, and you're greeted by 2 very desperate watch guards who are both wielding spears, and they say, that's far enough. Who are ye? Speak the.
I mean, I'm obviously flying my own colors.
Gotcha.
But I come from White Ridge. I have just exited from a meeting with the Baron. We're on our way to inspect a necromantic circle just beyond here, but I see that you are ill and out of sorts, so I would speak with your commander immediately.
Okay, they exchange looks, and they'll nod at you, and they're going to lower your weapons, and they'll say, perhaps a little eagerly, "Oh, news from White Ridge, yes. We have awaited, please come, fetch the commanding officer," and they, sheepishly will look towards it looks like a young soldier, honestly, although this boar stands very straight. It's obvious he's younger than the ones around them. And when he approaches, his voice cracks slightly. Let's get a name out here. A token and a name. Chai. I feel like I'm getting a lot of female. Route. I like that. Okay, Route. Good.
That doesn't bode well. Doesn't bode well when your commander's named Route.
No, commander's named Rout and doesn't seem to have a whole lot of experience. Rout stands tall but still falls short of the stature of you and many of your men, Thurgar. And he says, we've been awaiting your, orders from White Ridge. We've held out as best we can. Most of our unit remains alive, although several of them have sustained wounds. What are the orders?
How are the reinforcements from Lord Ashton Bennett?
He says, I'm not quite sure. They kept to their own units and broke off when the attack fell upon us. We have not been able to confirm whether they've survived or not.
Sir Milgard has been informed about the breakaways. However, there is no further information about your current situation in regards to them. So you're saying they're completely not here anymore?
He shrugs in a way that is probably not befitting an officer of rank. And he says, we've seen signal smoke, or we've seen fire smoke, from several points, and, we did spare one scout to go investigate, although they have not come back. I'm sure that our brethren are out there. We just have not been able to make contact with them yet, and, yeah. He rubs his arm sheepishly.
I've also spoken to the Baron specifically about your Roll's Eyes morale problem.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to see about getting you a blessed or someone familiar with the light, someone up here who can assuage your concerns about supernatural matters. Keep this very much on the level of the material plane, shall we say.
Mm-hmm. You can feel Calamine's eyes boring a hole into the back of your head when you say this. But she's back with, she's not going to interject anything.
Well, I mean, obviously it wasn't her anyway.
Sure. Yeah.
Not unless Baron Milgard knows her, and this is a concern that I wasn't aware of.
No, not necessarily, but this is news to her as well. And you maybe get the sense that the idea of using the Blessed as shock troops in the Baron's army is something that she either takes umbrage at, she probably takes some umbrage at it.
I mean, that's probably an implication that I didn't intend, and not what I said, but clearly could be read that way. If you recall, the previous discussion was more about assuaging their, the problem that they were having is they were having runaways and everything like that because they were seeing supernatural things not of this world, and I was like, well, just get somebody in there that's of that. You got Blessed in the area, right? Something.
Yeah. No,
yeah. I wasn't talking about send in an army of hex and hammers.
Right, yeah. I remember your intentions. I'm just telling you the way that she would interpret that.
Right. I do need to be reminded of one specific name. I can't remember who it was. The guy that they're going to pull from Devon's ranks. Come up here.
Yes, Fletcher.
Fletcher, yeah. And we also have a experienced commander from the southern region who's going to be making his way up here soon enough. I believe he's been leading the Baron's son's men throughout the area as of late, and we're going to be pulling him up to the front here, so hopefully you'll have more experience to guide your hand.
Okay. Would you like to give me a roll? The roll would be probably mind and leadership. It sounds like your reasoning, kind of.
So the first thought out of my head,
or I guess will and leadership is rallying.
First thought in my head is always, how can I make this better for myself? Well, it's all gossip until it happens, right?
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be a simple roll. There's not a lot that can go wrong with this roll. It's just a matter of the morale of this particular unit.
Will and leadership. Don't add that.
You seduce him.
Yeah, no. Players don't have it. One success.
One success will do it. So this news seems to ease some of the tension on the faces of the men around you. At the very least, there's someone here who will tell them what to do, which is something that they have lacked for at least a day, possibly more. And you can see that it has started to wear on them. But now they're all standing up a little bit straighter, and Rout will nod sharply and say, "This is excellent news. what would you have us do in the meantime, while we await for these reinforcements? This general
Do you have
and
a
our
command tent?
He gestures back. There's a collection of 3 tents. None of them looks particularly commanding.
Do you have
His
a
is, I
tent
guess, one
from
of
which
them.
you review incoming information, have a map of the area, and then send out orders? Do you have something of that nature?
He looks very embarrassed, and he's like, "Well, we have maps. I'll underline that this is not their forward operating base. That was messed up.
Yeah, no, you
This
described dead
was
bodies already. I just
yeah. So, but he'll lead you back to one of these tents, and inside he'll send one of his men to pull out the maps of their tactical. This unit was given maps. All the units were.
right. So, I mean, if we want to just like fast forward this a bit, I'll have Jackie and Tara go over the things that they've seen in their reconnaissance. We'll mark it on the maps that they have of the area. Fast forwarding. Rutherford,
Yep.
I'm going to leave Rutherford here. Rutherford, being
Okay.
a raven ranger, is with survival and everything, going to try and improve the quality of the camp as best as he can, possibly, but also going to have him stay here and do reconnaissance to try and
Okay.
find the missing reinforcements so that we can get these two groups coincided back together again. At least, hopefully, by the time Fletcher arrives.
Gotcha.
And hopefully that information on the maps helps them out as well. But also gives us any information possibly that we don't have from our aerial reconnaissance based on their knowledge of the terrain vis-a-vis the maps.
Yeah. They don't have a lot of additional information because they were not actually traveling with flyers. But they can tell you the situation on the ground is that the southern passage into the mountains is already well defended. He talks about the attack and will tell you that the Chevernace, first of all, they're invisible. They attacked from the wilderness, and we couldn't even see them. We could just feel their arrows raining down on us. But the thing that was more concerning were the Wights, the undead that shambled into their encampment and took no heed of the axes and spears of the White Ridge soldiers and just began to eat the living bodies of his comrades. It's not fun. He seems quite shaken. His resolve is not what it used to be. He says that they were sent to fight, the barbarian tribes in the north, but they were not told that they would be facing the literal forces of darkness.
I'm giving a pause at this moment because, once again, something I'm constantly bringing up is the respect that the Doloro have for the Walking Dead. So, it's...
I gotta imagine it's hard
say?
Yeah, right. It's hard to respect something that's eating your buddy.
Yeah, I mean... But
you might have respect for a hippopotamus, but when it eats someone you love, you probably don't feel the same way about it.
Like, that's the vessel of your ancestor, so treat it as nobody at all.
Mm.
Well, there's respect for the restless dead and respect for the angry dead are two different things.
Right. I mean, my first thought then is just, yes, we're here to handle the necromancy. You handle the tactical war. Yeah, no. Like I said, I think my best bet is to leave the ranger here to try and improve their current living conditions, as well as perform aerial searches to try and find the reinforcements that have gone missing and apparently are route. Whereas, well, I guess, unless anybody else here has anything, we'll continue onward. And Rutherford can try and...
they're quite busy with their own problems.
Yeah, and Rutherford can try and catch up to us, or deliver any messages to me in that path. Well, I mean, unless you guys had any idea about maybe using these guys to help our cause. Because our cause is their cause, is our cause. But otherwise, the Baron's going to be sending people up here anyway to force these guys and try and improve their condition anyway. We leave them alone.
No, I mean, I have no stomach for the craft of war.
Alright, then, like I said, fast forward through it and Hopefully,
Okay.
Brother can do a good job of improving their condition before Fletcher gets here. Fletcher's a much better person anyway.
Okay.
But I guess from the maps and the aerial surveillance, the best course of action found was the southern entrance and a big old fight with the Chevronnets.
Well, yeah, right. That was their plan. From your aerial reconnaissance, there's also a northern entrance and an eastern entrance. They saw that there were guard presence at both, but they're diminished. However, there's also the issue of the paths that lead around the mountains to get there are much more treacherous. They're not that many of these paths are maintained, but some of them are like travel routes that are used by the Chev or by the Doloro. These other paths are hard going. They're going to be difficult terrain, so it'll take you longer if you want to try to enter through those, but they're more lightly guarded.
That's exactly the third scenario. This is the goat.
Mm.
Chevronnets are goats. I mean, in the silence of nobody saying anything, I think the northern passage is probably the best way to go. It's the shortest circuitous route to a less defended position.
Yeah, and
Right.
I mean, the other thing is be vigilant in case somebody tries to ambush us. Although we're a pretty large party, we're like almost 20 people. So, I mean, I
Right.
assume the raiders would like look at us and think twice.
Right, and with so many people, doing any sort of dangerous choice is probably not as worth it.
Well, I mean, the only thing we have to be worried about is, as you've told me already, you've been attacked by Devon's men? The Devons or the Chevronnets? I've already forgotten.
It was Devon's, yeah, that attacked them.
Right.
But it seems
Devon is back
unlikely.
there somewhere.
It seems unlikely that Devon is going to continue the pursuit up here into war territory, especially after probably losing Fletcher.
He might be crazy enough.
Right, but I mean, that would go actively against his father, I believe. And his father is already actively now looking for him through his displeasure. So, I mean, I don't know. It's a very weird thing to do if you're Devon, I feel like.
Well, if the young man's first recourse to all of his problems is violence, then I'm sure the first time his father shows his lack of support, he will probably change his tune. And by that I mean cut off his father's head.
Yeah, I mean, I could go back to White Ridge next time, and there's no... Baron Milgard that I know is gone. Long live Baron Milgard, the new. It's like, oh, well, shit.
Oh, shit.
But I mean,
So
this
you
could...
kill him when you had the chance.
Well, I mean, this could also entirely play out Avatar, Last Airbender. That this is the son who's out by himself with his last remaining forces, trying to show honor in his father's eyes by capturing who he thinks is the real threat. So he's wandering through a war zone, trying to fight the last thing.
I would be flattered if someone thought that by defeating us they would reclaim honor, but I didn't think, no offense to Connor, I didn't think we were that high ranking.
Well, it's more a matter of personal insult. You mean everything to the Baron because he's still really pissed off that you stole his hostage.
Well, we'll see.
But we'll see. Calamine will clear her throat and raise another issue, which is that the trek to the north is going to take considerably more time than the southern passage, and that you guys are not as well rationed and equipped as you were when you got here. It might mean that the trek back to White Ridge or to a civilization where you can resupply, it might be a tough one. It might be a grueling one. You'll probably run out of rations on your way back.
Okay, roll with Winter. Just to see how much Winter knows about the blessing. Hello?
Red?
Winter, I'm sorry, you can do... sorry, yeah, I thought you were making a roll.
No, I was asking
I guess...
if I could.
Yeah.
Winter is my supernatural expert. I believe everything he says because he's the only one I know that knows anything that's supernatural.
Yep, it would be mind and supernatural.
One success.
One success? Okay.
See, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to couch meta knowledge with who around me knows anything. So what I'm trying to aim for here, does Winter know anything about the different, I don't use the word branches when I'm talking about a guitarist, but does he know about the different branches of knowledge? Like what the Alder Path versus,
I mean, with one success, he knows that they exist, but he couldn't tell you about what they're capable of. He might know a couple of them. Like, he might know, like, oh, yes, there's, like, a holly path, and, but he wouldn't know that, like, oh, the holly path grants, like, knowledge and helps to seek and find and stuff. He would just know that they can do all kinds of weird stuff.
To any future viewer of this, watching a VOD, I'm aware that some of these blesseds can grow food, basically, with their magic, and that's what I was aiming for. If Winter doesn't know that, then I don't know that, which means I can't bring it up at all. So I'm out.
Gotcha.
Guard.
Realize. Should also need.
I believe Anon has been our quartermaster.
I suppose been managing things for the most part. Though this is mostly a pre-calculation of, we're probably going to run out of food by the time we get back.
Well, I mean, it basically addresses your concerns. If she says, hey, the Northern Passage, we're not going to have enough food to make it there, people turn to you. It's like, keeping track of all the food. Is that right?
Well, we started with about 3 weeks. It took us a week to get up to Mount Grimart, and then I assumed about a week of those rations to get to the place that we were going to, which is here, and then a week back.
We assume that we're never going back.
Then you could go a week into the mountains and starve to death.
Well, I mean, we get a week into the mountains and then hopefully find the encampments of the Chevronnets. In which case, that's food there. We just have to figure out how to get it away from them. Although those Chevronnets do eat anything.
That's pretty, that's a tall order. I mean, basically that means we either fight or die.
Or negotiate.
Balls to the walls, yeah.
I mean, we can negotiate. We just know they're assholes, but maybe we have something they want.
They're not going to sell their food and starve.
I mean, we only need enough food to get to the next point. I'm just trying to aim for the least approach, right? The least survivable approach. I don't know what it's called, what I'm shooting for here. We burned the boats so that nobody would think of escape.
Right. I mean, that's not, good policy.
That's not good policy, but if you're only concerned about forward momentum, which is all I'm concerned about.
I like forward momentum. Burn the boats. Just keep going forward until you collapse.
Look, we're not going back to Spain. Burn the boats. Only worry about what's in front of you.
Yeah, I'm not sure we need to be that zealous about it, sir.
Well, all we have behind us is death.
We could also split up to where we have one party doing the search and one party goes to find the Chevronnets and attempt to do negotiations with them.
I think those are both the same direction.
Well, why don't we go until we reach what is called the point of no return, and then if we must retreat, we retreat.
I think wasn't Griff just saying that this is the point of no return? That we have a week's worth of rations left, which is a week's worth to get back a week towards town. So
that's what you are. I thought you were saying a week to get here, a week to search, a week to get back. I didn't realize we blew a week already.
That's kind of been my assumption in shorthand. Red, would you like to clarify our food?
Yeah, I think that you guys planned to have enough food to get into the mountains, to the circle, back out, at least back to White Ridge to resupply, or maybe resupply at the monastery. But when you were ambushed, half of your supplies got burned.
Oh, right. We lost a whole bunch of supplies.
Yeah, we lost a whole bunch of stuff because a bunch of people robbed us.
Oh, no, now I remember. Yeah, the burning tent. A bunch of people failed to put out the fire.
Yeah, well,
right,
I think
so we are on much less. At this point in our trail, what are we at?
Considering I forgot you guys lost half your supplies, I think we need to retreat. The idea that we should have to conquer somebody and take their stuff is not only lacks ethics, but also isn't very wise either, because what if we wind up robbing people who don't have enough food?
Well, we're still in the. I don't think we narratively moved on from the encampment we're currently at. we could always try and find what happened
Actually,
to the other people around
that's a
here.
good point. We do have our encampment here, Gar. You could go speak with them, and you could get some of their rations for us, and that could give us enough momentum to at least do our mission in return.
Well, that's
Now-
what I was just talking about. They have a
Yeah.
problem of low morale and deserters. What if we can find what happened to those deserters and the other routed backup that they got back here, and that combined lack of used resource we could then put towards ourselves.
Right. By the sounds of it, maybe that encampment should retreat.
No, remember they're going to get reinforced soon enough, so they just need to hold out until that gets here.
Fair enough, I suppose.
We just happen to get here faster. You have to imagine that the Baron has to send word to Fletcher. Fletcher has to come back up from the south and get here. Baron has to then send also words to whoever his supernatural source is going to turn out to be. They're mobilizing and moving. We just left direct, so we got here first.
Right.
So
So in which case, maybe we could go ahead and bargain with them. We can shore up their defenses for the time it takes for them to get reinforced. In exchange, we get the food we need to accomplish our mission. And we can, of course, express to them the importance of our mission, perhaps to theirs. I'm sure no army would wish to fight a force of necromancers.
Half of that's already being done. Remember, I have Rutherford specifically here, survivalist as he is, trying to improve their quality of life because they barely have a fire going. So I figured I was going to leave him here, but we're still here because we decided if we go forwards, we're going to starve. So we can add more to the survivalist aspect, and we already addressed the whole we're here to fight the necromancy. So they already know what we're here and what we're about, and how that aids them, especially since they gave us the sob story of I didn't come here to fight my brother eating me my face off. But I guess that does get left to me because I believe I'm still the best negotiator.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm not a slack at negotiation either, but they know and trust you, which is far more valuable.
Right, and you're a wanted commodity, so... Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll go talk to Rout again.
Yes.
My
lord.
The morning of we're all getting ready to leave, I guess. One of those movie scenarios. I was putting gloves on.
Mm-hmm.
Rout, I need to talk to you about provisions.
Yes, we managed to save most of our allotted provisions. Sorry, I'm just a little nervous this morning. Yes, most of our units allotted provisions.
How much do you have remaining that would have gone to those that deserted or are now dead?
Well, we have enough to hold out here for a few days. But, well, I think a bulk of the provisions were abandoned back at the camp at the forward operating base. It's possible that one of the other units grabbed it before they ran, or grabbed some of them before they ran, but we haven't made contact with them yet.
So the bulk of the provisions are still there. Okay. And that's the main operating base that was destroyed?
Yes. It's not far. It's about a league to the northwest of here.
So sort of in the direction we were already heading. Out of character. It would be better to send a scout unit there and the rest of us stay here at the encampment, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just to see, like an aerial perspective, see, are there still tents, are there still supplies, does it look like it's been completely ransacked, before, sending the entire group up.
Gotcha. Okay. Whoever's going, if they're doing it from the air, it'll be mind and observation. If they're doing it from the ground, it can be searching.
That's my only thing.
Maybe that's a weird distinction to make, but
my only thing there would be, because even then, I would still argue towards search because we are looking for something specifically rather than just observing our surrounding.
That's true. You know what I'm thinking is probably two separate checks, really. So yeah, you could do mind and searching.
My
from
other
the air
concern is
as
also
well.
if we send a bunch of people on the ground and there was just a bunch of food left and there's a bunch of wild animals and shit in the area, that's probably also not good to get ambushed by.
Yep.
So unless anybody has a counter argument, I would say again, Anushka, Jackie, Taria, Rutherford?
Nothing from me. Go for it.
Well, that sounds good to me. It finally sounds like a plan.
Okay. I see
And then Anushka's.
Jackie's got 2. Tyra's got 2.
Oh, ignore one from Rutherford.
Gotcha.
The
Okay.
3. Ignore the 3 from Rutherford. That was the supernatural. That didn't apply to this roll. Jackie and Taria don't have supernatural, so that doesn't affect them. So I just pasted their previous roll.
For those of you playing along at home, I have rolled 5 dice, and none of them have been above a 4.
No successes yet. Okay. All right. So yeah, Jackie and Tyra, as they fly circles, they locate again this operating base, and they can see that among the wreckage and what remains of the tents and the ramshackle fortifications, there seem to be several dead. I guess would they be dray, large pack animals that have bundles strapped to them, likely of supplies of various kinds. There's also like a wagon that has barrels in it that is also likely supplies. I think one of the barrels is broken, and you can see what would they bring with them in cold weather. I don't know. Pickles, frozen pickles, are spilled from the barrel.
You want something dry?
I guess you don't want something that's gonna freeze, right?
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Famously, a frozen wet food item.
Yeah. Biscuits.
Immense
Hardtack
hardtack. It
sounds like about right.
also depends on
Beans?
what species there are here, and if it's all boars, then I guess they're omnivorous too, aren't they?
Are they?
I'm pretty sure the boars are omnivorous.
I'm just
think you're
craving
right.
pickles. I don't know. Looking forward to lunch, but we're not there yet.
Soon.
Soon.
But yeah, I mean, if that's what they find, everyone can come back and report, and I guess then we can all march out over there, right? Because basically, as far as I can tell, the plan would be to pick the food up from there and then continue forwards, because that would just basically refresh our food situation.
Right, it would give us the
Indeed.
ability to continue.
Yep, the quantities are such that you guys would be well stocked for a trip there and a return trip back to at least White Ridge.
Most
Okay.
excellent.
What'd you say, Ark?
Oh, most excellent. That's all.
Most excellent indeed.
Sorry, I did
All
that thing
right.
where I start talking and I realize, oh, somebody else is talking, shut up. And then they stop talking immediately too. It's like, oh, crap, I talked over you.
Yep, the deadlock. Man, I'm trying to get an in-person game, RPG game together at my work. There's a lot of people who have expressed an interest in playing some D&D, and I was like, I've been known to play some D&D in the past, but I'm excited because it means in-person gaming, which I have not done for at least over a year now.
Oh yeah, it's
I
been
miss
a while.
Right, I miss my dice.
Have fun.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if it can get it off the ground.
I mean,
I'm
I
not
haven't
there
done it
yet.
since a year that started with a 2.
Yeah, damn.
For those sitting at home, yes, I mean before the year 2000.
I mean, hey, listen, virtual gaming is a blessing. I'm glad that we have it.
Otherwise, we'd be
Anyway.
by mail.
Otherwise, we'd be playing by mail. Okay. So you guys come across these ruins. Some of you have seen it from the air. Seeing it from the ground, it's accompanied by the faint stench of blood and decay, lessened somewhat by the fact that many of the bodies have been frozen. The blood has frozen into gruesome stalactites from the weapons and armor of the fallen soldiers. A white, thick frost has collected on their metal armor. But as you pick your way through the camp, you find the barrels of beans and crackers that were mentioned. The dray don't look as decomposed as they probably should due to the cold weather. Their thick hides have lost their color, however. And when you loose the bags from them, you can see that they too contain herbivore rations. So large bundles of, I don't know, whatever vegetarians. As you
Watermelon
are,
turkey.
It's called
Yep.
bread.
Is that it? Bread and cheese. Okay.
Bread and beer.
Bread and beer. I like it. This whole process of resupplying probably does not take more than a few minutes, considering how many people you can set to the task. However, I would like anyone who is standing guard to give me mind and observation. And yes, you may include danger sense in this, and it might be giving away the farm, but you can also include any supernatural and mystic necromancy. And this is an initiative roll.
Aha, I'm aware to danger and dark magic.
Nice.
Point out that is yet again another 3 on an initiative roll.
Oh wow, we're up to 6. Nice.
Yeah, Raft roll.
Oh, I had one
nice.
success. Because I the first roll was the 3 and the 8. So I actually have one
Mind
success.
observation. What else?
Sorry. Mind, observation, supernatural. If you still have mystic necromancy, you can include that in this as well.
That means on 8 dice that you've rolled today, 6 of them have been 3.
Yeah, I've only had one success.
I got that in supernatural. So
Well,
one.
yeah, but I just mean one was a 2 and one was an 8, but still, the vast majority of your dice have been one number, one less than a success.
Out of 8 dice, only one of them has been 4 or better, and some of those are D12s. Hey, it's the way it is. It doesn't matter. It's the initiative roll, which means I'm not caught off guard.
I just
Exactly.
think it's funny that it's all been 3. It's not all been 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been 3.
1, 2,
3 is the
3.
magic
Oh,
number.
Jesus. 4. Okay. Still waiting on Connor.
Sorry, I'm typing
but
them all up.
So
That's okay. I do believe that Doctor is going to be the first one who takes notice of the danger.
tensions.
I'm sorry.
Surrounded by zombies everywhere. In fact, the mountain is 90% zombie by mass. I'm pretty sure
How
there was
did you
actually
know?
I remember there being like some sort of SCP story of like, oh, Mount Everest actually just composed entirely of zombies. People who go up there die. That's the mountain just keeps getting bigger all the
I mean, that was the
I like
that
it.
was the conceit of what happens to North Korea. And, what's the Max Brooks zombie thing again? They made
I
a
don't remember.
movie out of it, and it was horrible and not
World War Z.
World War Z. There, that's what they say happens to North Korea because the entire population of North Korea on the surface just goes missing. Not zombies, nothing, and they suppose that they all went into their underground safety bunker and that they possibly just got infected. And at some point, someone's going to open the bunker up, and it's just going to be millions of zombies.
Mhm.
Tons of fun. There we go. So the Potter crowd has gone.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm on another map. I'm just checking ranges. Just want to make sure that. Okay. All right. Challenges. What is it? Wait a minute. I'm just talking to myself. Distance, close, near, range, initiative, target. Yeah. Okay. Within 4, within 12. All right. Cool. So within 12 paces, that means that these guys have a range of like... isn't so bad. Okay. All right. I'm going to move people over to this new map. So, what is happening? I'm sure you can imagine, as you are in the process of loading up these rations, the doctor is the first to notice something not feeling right, the familiar nauseating stench on the air of the undead as they stir, and he realizes that several snowdrifts nearby that he suspected were just, well, innocent drifts of snow, in fact, harbored horrific creatures. They move with a stuttering gait. Their skin is blanched white, their eyes pupilless, as they rise, you can see they are all goats, or they were at least in life. Their horrible twisted horns are, some of them are exposed where they meet the base of the naked skulls that they're attached to. Still yet flesh clings to these creatures.
Horror movie moments. Just turn around and go, they're here.
They're here. So yeah, they are. You guys were rolling against 3, which means they're within short range, which means these guys are within 12 paces of ye. And I dropped you over, right? It looks like we need a token for Anushka. We need a token for Gar, and we'll need tokens for Gar's men. I don't know if you have those stashed on one of these.
Ugly Buster stayed behind, so he's out here. The other
Right,
one,
we can get rid of Ugly Buster.
Used to be on the map.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of map reuse. Apologies.
it's all good. There's only so many different ways you can configure the wilderness to be interesting.
Hold on, wait. We go to
yeah.
map and background. I can do
You just
advance,
spin it.
flip horizontal.
Spinning's a cool trick. Oh, it's completely
Spinning's a cool
different now.
trick. Flip vertical. Oh.
Oh gosh, oh my perspective is actually hurting.
Found a map with my.
Everything looks upside down to me now. But
So wasn't Buster fully healed by your magic?
Buster was brought back to life sick and injured, and has not been healed. He stayed behind to recover, I recall.
Okay. I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me.
I'll actually move these back a little bit because I imagine when we get addresses men on here, you'll be a much larger group. But yes.
Just found the last map that had people on it. Gathering them up.
That's cool, yeah. Take your time. I'm going to be figuring out my first turn while you do that for the sake of expedience.
And I suppose I probably have focus.
Yeah, yes. Anyone with, 2 or more successes?
There we go. Focused.
Barrow Whites, 274. Nice. Okay.
Not. So I got them back from the last Necromancer map.
Hey.
Dead.
Just killing them off now, huh?
Well, no, Gorbel Rosaline Rossiane is the one that I wanted to name the town after.
Ah, there you go.
He got killed by I think a zombie, in fact.
What a coincidence.
I think this is probably the best formation. It's four people within range of a bodyguard tap on each side, so technically 8.
Looks good. Just pulls in around you.
Of course.
He can't hit you if they can't reach you.
Well, I mean, if I do an effective taunt, that makes it more effective. 12 mod to try and hit someone that's not me, and if I'm in the center. Although in this formation, this would not work out in a blood because he just walk up next to Winter and then slap me in the face.
Where are they getting their D12? I guess they are... Vengeful Fighters? That's a bonus to counter. Weird. Oh, it's in here somewhere.
What are you looking for?
Oh, I'm just looking at the stat block for the Barrow White. They're...
God.
Yes, all of their attacks are D12, 2D8. And I'm just wondering where the D12 comes from, because they have a D12 will. I don't know if they have that...
They've got melee fervor, I'm not sure.
Right, I don't see it on their list here. So I'm just wondering. It's, yeah. They're wrathful person. They've got personality dice. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy.
They are... This is significant. This is not your average zombie.
Yeah. You'll say that you guys have dealt with average zombies before, and you've
Improved
noticed
strength.
that they
have
had
improved.
improved strength. There you go.
There
okay.
we go.
So,
Yeah, no, these are not zombies.
These are chompy boys. And you'll notice too that the way they move is frightening. As you've dealt with zombies and you've seen their slow shambling, these are not that. These are
the
running
glowing red
zombies.
eye types. Yeah, this is serious, and this isn't even where the Hellmouth is. This is just the people wandering around. This is a bad place.
Well, now we know how serious the situation is.
Indeed you do. As they come at you, their jaws clack, making a very disorienting, creaking, clacking noise. We're going to give them all guard. We're going to do that again. It did not take. Take two.
They have us
guard.
surrounded.
They have you surrounded, and they're closing in, and it is your actions. There we go. Thriller GIF accomplished.
Somewhere in the darkness, you hear Vincent Price begin to narrate everything that's happening.
So yeah, heroes, what do you do?
I am going to. Well, so there's a bad guy coming this way. I am going to ready my teasel whips because I don't have any swords anymore since I've given them all up. And slowly, with focus, I am approaching. It asks, "Are you approaching me?" The answer is yes. And I'll focus.
Okay. I think these guys start hurt. Do they? I mean, they are zombies, right?
Well, they're barrow lights.
I mean, they're not. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it does. They might not actually start her.
Yeah, I don't think they do. Okay,
Nope.
cool.
These are upper tier. These are like got flesh on them, like you described, and like the glowing eyes. It's like no, we're not. Remember, we're talking about lesser undead versus greater undead. This is greater undead.
Yeah, because they can actually.
Exactly. Take a bite out of you. Okay, I'm sorry. It looks like I see some focus turns on the board. Looks like Anushka, Strode, and focused.
Yep, I had focus beforehand. I'm going to unleash lightning. I'm going to ready a spell, aim, cast the spell, and then recharge it.
I like it. Who are you
So,
targeting?
Good question. Probably the one... I'm going to target this guy here.
Okay.
I don't know. I need a... They're not really within sweep range of each other.
No. What is their sweep range? Is it near?
Yes, it's near. So I think that's like 4 paces.
Yeah,
here.
it's 4 paces. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just readying up Fulguration. There we go.
And we're
And
dodging. Speed and dodge.
Yep, that's right. I get the D8 for aim. And they need to be a 7.
They do not beat a 7.
They do clear out the rest of the dice. However, this is holy. I believe that makes that 6 points plus if they are hurt or injured.
They're not hurt or injured. Oh, thank you for getting the names on them. They're not hurt or injured, so they will just take it. But they'll take 6. That's a lot. So we're going to soak with 2d8. You can do the same thing. There we go. Yep. Okay, soak it to 5. It's not an overkill, but it is a kill.
It is weak. I do think they still get to roll twice, even if they are vulnerable to it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
It's weak slaying now, and it doesn't lose that quality.
Okay.
All right,
so
that
it went
actually
from
saves its life.
6 to 3. It is hurt. It is injured. It is not afraid. I think it's immune to being afraid. It is.
And that's with the whole holy on.
Yes.
Yeah, slaying means your successes count as 2 successes per damage point. Weak means they get to soak it twice.
Yeah, so it didn't lose the quality just because they're vulnerable to it.
Right.
There we go.
Right.
All right, I've made it more dangerous. It is staggered, though, I suppose.
Good
Right.
job.
It is reeling. I'm sorry.
Yeah, reeling.
It does get reeling
yeah.
as well. There.
There we go. All right, I did
Stands-
something.
Stumbles back, but instead of dissolving like your typical zombie, it seems to, it took the hit. It tanked it. All right. Who wants to go next?
Well, he's not
Oh,
done.
it is actually sweep short.
Yeah,
Actually,
let's say you're not done yet.
Oh, it
short
is sweep short.
actually is 12, isn't it? Yeah. So
Then
I can
yeah.
actually sweep the next. Let's give it a shot.
Okay.
So this is going to go to skinned hairless one. It don't have aim, but it has to beat an 11.
And it can't. It can't beat a 9 either. It does screen out the 4. So
All right. So that
starting
is
2.
2 up to 4, so 8 weak. Right there immediately.
Okay, and we're soaking down to 6, but that's enough to overkill. Whack.
Hey, very nice. And this guy is actually sufficiently out of range. So just these two on this side.
Gotcha. Yep.
All right.
Thank you for the X. These guys don't. Actually, wait. It's holy damage. He would be vaporized off of the. Yeah, we're gonna
He is
say that holy
complete-
damage.
He got overkilled with holy
I know he's
damage.
overkilled.
Like, he's gone.
He's gone. Okay. These guys are the guys that go down and come back later, unless you know, like burn the bodies essentially. But that you essentially did that. So, okay, all right. Sweep of radiant lightning puts one of them down.
All right. Joachim will ready and guard. So will Potter. Vern will take a focus turn. So will Bernie or I didn't put Bernie in there. Let me roll real quick.
Need to put Bernie in. This is
Probably
not Bernie. That's forward Bernie right here.
Yeah. I didn't roll for him.
Oh, he's not here? We can take him out.
Yeah, didn't
No,
use
he
the
is there.
initiative,
He
what
is there. I just forgot to roll for him.
Oh, okay.
So
There
he
you
got a 4, so he's going to take a focus turn. And James is also going to take a focus turn.
Okay.
Connor is going to dash and attack this Wight.
Alrighty. This Wight will counterattack. With a wrestle. Why not? Because they're vengeful fighters, he still gets his d12. Oh, sorry, that's 2d12. That was wrong. Ignore that roll. It's 1d12. Let's try that again. All right. It's a tie, a simultaneous hit. Oh, wait. You get to break ties with your 2 sword fighting? Is that a thing?
I'm checking to see what that lets me break ties from.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still a simultaneous hit on attack versus counter.
I can roll breaks ties on parry.
Yeah, only on parry. So it's simultaneous hit. You stab and they grab.
And they grab, yep. So that's 2 damage coming at you and you're grappled. And it looks like 3 damage coming at me. And I'm soaking with 2d8. I soak that down to 1 damage, reeling and hurt. Reeling. You get your sword in as he throws his arms around you. He's headless, so he can't actually bite you, but he's scratching at your skin. Get you the grapple.
I feel like I'm
thing.
forgetting
Okay.
something. Was the second D12 because he was guarding?
Yes. He's guarding and he's vengeful.
Right, because you said he doesn't have 2 D12, he only has 1 D. Was the second D12 originally because he's guarding?
Oh no, well this was for the wait, what?
He got attacked, he's countering.
Yeah.
His
I guess he
guarding
does
comes
have
into
2d12. Right? He has the vengeful fighter. Okay, so yeah, the counter is 2d8, d12 for the vengeful fighter, and he's guarding. So yeah, it should be 2d12. Do we want to use the first roll?
Well, it makes no difference because your highest is 7 and I have a roll.
Yeah, forward, not backward.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it would
We'll
make
go.
a difference.
I mean,
because
well,
he has an 8
the difference is
original
that
one.
I
I'm just
have an
saying
8.
he's missing a D12, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it
Oh,
wouldn't
that
be
is
a
an
tie
8, yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
That's right.
So it means that you would keep the damage, but I would not take damage.
Well, if you're going to do that, then I'm going to do a fencing replay.
Okay, and we'll roll it again. Do it right this time. 2d8.
Tandem replay. I'm sure I don't have fencing replay yet. So this would be with a buckler.
Okay, I'll let you roll first. to keep it.
Sorry, after that song and dance, I feel remiss if I didn't say this out loud. It would be a bonus D8, not a bonus D12.
They don't have
They're not veterans.
veterans. No, good call. Good call.
That's
So it's
honestly a surprise.
3d8 plus a d12. Ugh, there's the 12. All right. Okay, so it looks like 2 damage because it's got damage plus 1. And I'm rolling. I'm soaking with 2d8. Okay, soaked, but reeling, but no longer hurt. All right. Okay, we're good. And you're no longer grappled. Sorry, I'll take that off of you. Okay. Who next?
My guys have as a actual player not taking their turn yet.
Correct. It would be your turn now.
Okay, I didn't
You're
know
the
if
last
Anushka
person
had
to
done
go.
anything yet or not.
So yeah,
Be focused.
that went pretty. I mean, I focused. But you obliterated the guy who was in front of me.
By accident.
All right, well then I'm going to guard, and I'm going to taunt the frail Wight, if that's possible.
Guard and taunt. Let's do these. They have mind.
You have no soul now.
If you've got a mind of a D4, I think you can taunt.
I mean,
what
if
I'd
they
be
can
resisting
be
with?
taunted is what I'm asking.
Yeah, sure. Piss off the undead.
I think so. What's a taunt resisting with? Mind,
Your will and inquiry.
will, and
I've
they got a
already rolled
D12
my own body in the macro, and I've got a 1.
So how do you taunt the undead? What do you say?
Yeah.
That thing that you cared about so much that you crawled back from the grave means nothing to me, and I piss on your grave.
Okay. Damn. Well, there you go. No, you know what? They've got personality dice. I'm rolling
Okay.
another D12.
Before you, okay, I guess you resist.
Cared that much. All
I
right.
guess, yeah. Why not? I never get to roll personality dice. I realized that was a throwaway, but whatever.
Yeah, fair enough.
This was which one? The frail Wight?
Yep.
Okay, the
All
frail
right, so
Wight.
I go reeling for my stun. Let's see. Leadfoot is going to guard. Fallen is going to guard. They don't have any ranged weapons, so they're just going to hold position. Let's see. Taria is going to aim at the Vile Right. Actually, no, guard, not aim. But they're still going to attack the Vile Right. Wight.
Okay.
Let's see. You have short bows. Okay. You're reeling, though, so 3d, 68.
Ooh, I got my 8.
Well, alright. And then, Jackie, same move. Guard and then shoot.
Tie. If I'm reeling and I retreat, I fall down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I will do that. So we're gonna move behind some cover here. And still reeling and also knocked down.
Alright, Rutherford is going to... Nobody... Rutherford's gonna guard and shoot at, the frail Wight. Rutherford uses a longbow. 6.
Where's Rutherford? Okay.
Well, shit. Do I send the other 2 guys out? No. The other 2 guys are guard. Gonna end my turn.
Okay. I think that's everybody. My Wights. This guy's easy.
Oh, sorry. Winter guards and does the holy light thing.
Gotcha.
Not holy light. Non-secular light.
He's at non-secular. It gives cover dice. Is that what's up?
Yeah. I'll put the light out.
Yeah, everyone gets a shield.
Gotcha. Okay. The Vile Wight will just recover his footing and prepare to charge, but he's not doing anything here. Our frail Wight, what are the ranges like? Is he within grabby distance? No. So he's going to stride and attack. He's no longer guarding either. All right. He's going to try to use his teeth, his twofers, to take a chunk out of Tyra.
That's a bad color for smack.
Yeah. Okay.
They changed. There we go. That's so anyone within the purple radius has a D8. Anything beyond that at short range, I believe it is a
Yeah, so D4 for the rest of the party.
Got it. Okay.
Also, I'm real bad at picking colors, apparently.
Nah,
Let's
you
go
know, it
with
works.
the
We can
blue
see.
against a blue. That seems like... You just attacked me with a 3-6-1?
I did. Tyra.
Alright, Tyra. Let's double check. Has a defense of jackal. Okay, well, you're guarding. You've got to cover. Damn it.
Damn. Okay.
That was 2 D8s in there.
So it's 2 hit, plus 1. I said she's taking a bite, right? So it's a grapple with teeth. So it'll be 3 damage coming at you.
So it's both of it. So hurt and reeling.
Gotcha.
And I guess
Okay.
you hit grapple. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Headless male Wight is, even though he doesn't have a head, seems to remember fights he used to have, and he circles you, Connor. He's guarding. The stripped Wight is going to guard and close ranks. He seems to sense the fear in Potter, and he's going to actually, you know what? He's going to try a scare stunt.